Hey, it's Don Skaggs again with Empowered Inventing, the place where we try to help you take innovation and opportunity and turn it into real things like products and businesses. Now, in case you don't know this, you know, a lot of people look at groups like the Beatles and think, oh yeah, they were an overnight success. And what they don't realize is that many times so-called overnight successes weren't really overnight at all. Let's take the Beatles for instance. The Beatles, a lot of times people will look at them, they'll think they were an overnight success. What they don't realize is that they were practicing and playing before small audiences in Hamburg, Germany, about 1,200 times. And Malcolm Gladwell calls this the 10,000 hour rule. And that's where if you really want to be an expert that's really proficient in something, you have to have logged 10,000 hours to really become good at it. Now, I'm not saying every inventor and entrepreneur needs to log 10,000 hours before they become successful. That's just not true. But you have to be a lot closer to 10,000, but you have to be a lot further away from zero to really become successful. And a lot of times we just think we've got 0 or 5 hours experience and we're ready to go. But you have to get out there. Now, you might say, what does this 10,000 hour rule have to do with inventing and entrepreneurship? Well, actually a lot. Because you can put a lot of really cool things into your idea to make it valuable. You can document it, you can build prototypes, you can go out there and get customer input, you can protect yourself, you can do all these different things. But there's one really important piece that if you're missing it, you're really not likely going to be successful, unless you're successful by accident, and you could also get struck by lightning, as we said in another video. Now, so what is this ingredient for being successful? It's market research. And I'm not talking about going out and buying a big book of Google searches, which is basically what they are, or just doing a bunch of Google searches and say, I've done my marketing research. No. That's not marketing research. Real marketing research is getting out there and living where it lives. Getting out there and being totally immersed in the market. If you're selling something, if you come up with a great idea for a product and you don't know anything about that industry that you think it belongs in, then you need to become an expert in that industry. You need to get down and just immerse yourself and be a fly on the wall and just learn everything that you can learn. Let's say you're not even working in that industry. That's all right. A lot of times I'll use this illustration. If you've got an innovation for McDonald's, I'd take a little extra part-time evening job over inside of a McDonald's, not to work at a McDonald's, but to be on the inside and absorb all of what was really going on every day inside of McDonald's to see if your innovation is going to fit, where it's going to fit, and how you can build it to make it the best fit. Total immersion. And you might say, well, Don, my idea is not at McDonald's. My idea is for something completely different. Well, that's all right. Every single industry has ways for you to enter and get inside and understand it. Nearly every industry has association trade shows. And even just the most obscure one. The one in our industry was the National Society for Histotechnology. That was the pathology lab that our business was in. And we would go to those meetings. And they had meetings. That is where you learned all about what products were going on in that niche industry, in that niche business. So, does your industry have a trade journal or an online trade journal? You go subscribe to that. You go read through those things. You look at the ads. You see what's selling. You see what they're talking about in those journals. Do they have trade shows? Nearly all of them do. Try and go. If you can go to the trade show, now don't go and have a booth first time. Go in and just be a fly on the wall. Just be an attendee. Learn about what's going on. Learn, listen to keep your ear to the ground to what's going on. And the closer you have your ear to the ground, the better market research you're going to actually really truly have. So go to these trade shows. Let's say, well, Don, this trade show's in California and I live on the East Coast and I don't have the money to fly out there, and being an attendee it costs a lot of money and I don't have that either. That's all right. And the wonderful thing about living in the 21st century is nearly every one of these trade shows have websites, and these websites have a lot of information on it. It's almost like going to the trade show sometimes. Not as good as going to the trade show, but if you can't do that, the websites are a great place to go. And especially if they have exhibitor lists, you can find out all about your competition and all about people that make products that are ancillary and all around your product by going on these trade show websites. What I'm saying here is get as close to this industry as you can outside of getting a court order for stalking. Get in and totally immerse yourself into this industry, because the more you learn about it, the closer your ear is to the ground, the more you're listening to the rumblings of what's going on. Not only are you going to find the fit for your innovation, you may even come up with ideas that you would have never gotten before had you not been familiar with all the pain points. And that's the other thing you got to watch for is pain points. What's the thing that everybody's complaining about at these trade shows? Other than the bad coffee. With the industry, of course. So go out there and find that out. And this type of market research goes way beyond anything you could get out of a report. And I don't even believe in reports. I think they're overblown, they're overpriced, and a lot of times they're not even worth the paper they're written on. So you have to go out there and do the actual research yourself. You have to become the expert, you and only you, as Stephen Key likes to say. The result of all this is going to be that you're going to be able to see your idea, your invention, your product, your business in a whole new light. And that's the light of that's shining from this industry on it. And it's going to tell you what to fix, what you need to, the parts you don't need to work on, the parts you do need to work on more, and it's going to help you grow it in the right direction. So maybe you won't have that 10,000 hours that the Beatles got, but at least the further away you can get from zero to understand your market, the better off you'll be. So again, I'm Don Skaggs. This is Empowered Inventing. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I hope they're helpful for you. And I will look to see you at the next meeting, workshop, class, or on the next video.